guys, it's Channon Rose, and today I'm going to be telling you guys about my horror hair story because I have a brand new one about something that just happened recently. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, be sure to hit that red button down below so you get new notifications about whenever I have a new video coming out. It's breezy, free.com. Also, be sure to hit that thumbs up button if you liked this video. Okay, so where do I even start? I decided that I wanted to put some highlights in my hair for summer. Now, I haven't really messed with my hair in a long time, and normally I steer clear from hair salons because I've had really bad experiences and I just get really nervous about them. But I decided to get brave a few days ago, actually like a week or two ago. I looked up on Yelp like the highest rated salons in my area, and I found one that had all 5 stars and tons of reviews, and all the reviews were really good. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna call this salon and I'm gonna make an appointment. So I did. And I was really excited, but I was really nervous at the same time. But I thought, you know, they have Olaplex like now, and Olaplex is something that makes it so that your hair, when you dye it, it keeps like the integrity of the hair, it doesn't damage it as much, and it also will lift it a few shades lighter than it normally would with just bleach with no Olaplex. So I did a lot of research on this, and I called ahead and made sure that the salon used Olaplex. And they were like, yeah, no problem, like everything's gonna be good. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I drive over there, I get to the salon, and I start talking to her and letting her know that this is not box hair dye. My hair dye is not from like CVS or Rite Aid. I go to Sally's and get Wella, which is like a more professional brand, I'm pretty sure. And you know, I tell her like my hair history and all these different things, and she's like, okay, cool. Kind of just like very like relaxed. She seemed really confident about what she was doing. So I was like, okay. I asked her about a color remover, and she's like, no, we're just gonna put the bleach on. You don't need a color remover. And I'm like, okay. And at that point, like that was like my first red flag. I started getting a little nervous because I'm like, okay, well, I would hope that she would at least try to get some of this black out before she puts the bleach on it. But I'm not a hair stylist, I'm not a professional, I'm just gonna trust her judgment, and I'm sure she knows way more than I do about this stuff, so I just like started to let her do her thing. So she's doing the highlights, and as she's doing the highlights, you know how like sometimes they'll take a little brush and then they'll take like a bunch of little pieces of hair and then put the foil and then, you know, like start putting the bleach on? Well, she was taking like one strand at a time and like doing the bleach. And I don't know, I'd never seen that before, I'd never had that done, and so I was like, I don't know, maybe it's some like new trendy thing that they do, but it's taking fucking forever, like, and she was very slow, almost like it was her first time doing it. I don't know what it is, but I've had the worst luck lately with like finding people, and somehow I get to like the person that's brand new doing it for like the first time professionally. That's like how I felt. But I am just chilling, just, you know, making small talk and, you know, trying to just like enjoy myself in the salon experience. And so then she sticks me under the dryer, and I'm under there for like 20 minutes. And mind you, this whole time in the salon, their air conditioning is broken. It's hot as fuck in there. So now I have like all these foils all over my head, and now I'm put under a dryer that's even hotter, and I'm like fucking sweating under there, you guys. I'm like so uncomfortable, but I'm just like, it's so worth it for my hair. It's gonna look so fun with all like new highlights in it. So I'm under the dryer, and I'm like hot as balls. I'm starting to get anxiety because it's like really fucking hot. So the dryer beeps, and like I'm just chilling there, waiting, and no one's coming. So finally I fucking lift that thing up myself, and I'm like looking around for my hairstylist. I can't find her anywhere. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. Because you guys, like when you have bleach on your hair, you're only supposed to leave it on for like a certain amount of time. And I was getting nervous because I'm like, okay, like this has been on for a long time now, because she took a long time putting the bleach in. So like the ones that were underneath that she started were on there for, I feel like, a very, very long time, like maybe even an hour. I was like, oh my god, please don't let my fucking hair fall out. I'm like, we're using Olaplex, we're gonna be okay, just relax, Shannon. Finally, she comes over to me like 10 minutes after the salon, so that's like 30 minutes now that the bleach has been just like chilling on my hair, like all over. And she's like, okay, we're gonna put you on for another 20 minutes. And I'm like, holy fuck. Okay, so now I'm just getting really nervous because I'm just like, fuck, that's a long time to have bleach like all over my hair. So I sit under there for another 20 minutes. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of anxiety because it's hot as balls. I'm sweating. I'm worried about my hair. I fucking suffered through it. The 20 minutes was up, and it's ready for me to go to the bowl, right? To like take it out and wash out the bleach. Everything's going good. And she's like, we really lightened your hair up. So I'm thinking like, oh shit, like cool. Like she didn't say anything about my hair falling out. Like clearly it's still probably attached to my head, and she's saying it looks really good. So I'm stoked, right? I'm like, awesome, like this is so cool. Well, then she starts to put the toner on my head, and as she's putting the toner on, my scalp is like burning, like on fire burning. And I don't think toner is supposed to do that. So So I just asked her, I'm like, is it normal for my head to be like burning? And she's like, no. And I'm like, because it's kind of burning. And she's like, oh, well, okay, you know, whatever. She kind of was just like very whatever about everything. And so now I'm having like really bad anxiety. I'm like, I'm sorry, I just need a second, because I started having a little bit of an anxiety attack when the shit started burning my head. And I take the towel out of my wet hair and I just like look down at it to see what it looks like. And I can tell that like the ends of my hair are completely fucking damaged. Like really fucking damaged. So I go to like test it out to like pull a little bit to see if it's like stringy. And my hair just fucking falls out. Like a chunk of my bottom of my hair falls out. And I'm like, oh my God, my hair is fucking fucked, right? And now I start really freaking out because I don't think that she used Olaplex in my hair. And I know that she didn't do an Olaplex treatment in the bowl. All she did was tone my hair. So now I'm getting like really scared and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is not good. And my hair is fucking falling out. So she comes over and I'm like, is it normal for my hair to be falling out? She's like, oh yeah, anytime you bleach it, you know, you have breakage. And I'm like, well, I thought the Olaplex was supposed to make it so that it doesn't break off. She's like, no, it's totally normal. So I'm like, no, I don't think it is, because I've been doing my research and I don't think that this is supposed to happen. I don't think it's supposed to happen like regardless. You're not supposed to damage somebody's hair, you know? So now I'm just like convinced that this chick is brand new and I just have really shitty luck. And I'm now having like more anxiety. And she's like, okay, so do we want to cut it? And I'm like thinking in my head like, bitch, you were not going anywhere near my hair anymore. I'm like, yeah, you know, I think I'm just going to leave it long. And I'm having really bad anxiety. Like, I think I'm going to go. And she's like, oh, okay. Like, not even worried, you know? Like, I'm like freaking out and wanting to leave and get up out of the salon. And she's like not even worried about it. So I go and I pay. And I get in my car and I start freaking out and I'm all upset because my hair has been like broken off. I was like, maybe it's just because it's wet, like it looks really fucked up, and I'm like looking and it's like orange and red and yellow and like it didn't look like she toned it at all. I was really freaking out, you guys. And I have a vlog of all this. So if you're not on my vlogging channel, I'll have it linked down below. Be sure to check that out because sometimes you see a lot more like when it's happening. But I'll put in a clip of what my hair looked like when it dried. You guys, it was so fucked up. Like, no joke, the ends were completely damaged and like just completely just falling off, breaking off. It felt stringy and brittle, like when it was dry. It was all different colors. My roots were lavender and like super blonde. It was like lavender, and then it like changed colors from like red to yellow and then back down to red again. Like it was all fucked up, right? And I understand that like taking black to blonde is like a process, and I completely understand that process. But my hair shouldn't have looked like that. It should have been toned properly so that it didn't look fucked up. You know, I wasn't expecting like bright platinum highlights from black hair. I was pretty reasonable about like and realistic about the outcome. But this was not the outcome that should have happened. My hair was fucking jacked up, you guys. So yeah, basically my hair was ruined. I had a hair fucking salon nightmare and it was awful. And thankfully it doesn't look as bad right now. I was able to fix it a little bit. I put like a shit ton of coconut oil. I slept with it. I've been like taking really good care of it as far as like putting moisture back in my hair and all these different things. But yeah, it was no good. It was no good. And I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I've been looking for hairstylists. You guys have been amazing referring me to people in my area, like Sacramento, Folsom area. So thank you so much for that. You guys even tweeted Guy Tang and got him to respond to me, and he was telling me like all the things I need to do to fix it. He's out of town for like a really long time, so he's not going to be able to do my hair. Eventually it will be completely fixed. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that crazy story with you because it happened recently, and a lot of you guys on my vlogging channel were like, make a story time about it. So there you go. I hope that you guys liked it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you all my love and all my positive energy, and I hope to see you in my next video.